welcome to episode 2, Ironing Out the Kinks. What a great week it's been.
Mm-hmm.
So, before we get stuck into it, a couple of things. Number one, honestly, how good has it been?
It's been good. Yeah, it's been, we really appreciate it.
Honestly, we thought we would probably get 10, 15, friends, family, a few people, to be well in triple figures of listeners and getting 5-star reviews. We're international now.
We are international superstars.
We are. People in Italy, people in America, people in Wales. We're international. We went to the shop the other day. I was getting papped left, right and centre.
It was hectic.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
But seriously, it's to get the feedback we've got, which is that it's really struck a chord with people, is unbelievable. That's all we wanted to do. And yeah, we're really, really grateful for it. This week's just been a high.
Yeah.
It's been an absolute high. And secondly, before we get stuck into it, I want to say thank you to you, my wife, because when I said to you, when we launched it on the Sunday and after admin and, getting it all done, it's taken forever. Launched it on Sunday. Monday, people started messaging us saying how much they enjoyed it. And I said, this was one of the best days of my life.
Yeah.
I wasn't joking like that. Not because of what I had done, but because of what we had done, because I'd done it with you. I've had this idea for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And when I, brought it up with you and you just jumped on board, no hesitation. You were like, yeah, that's great. I'm in. I think we should do this. Going all the way through that and then executing it with you, creating these things with you, is just the absolute pinnacle of what I could have imagined it to be. It was unbelievable. So, thank you.
That's so nice. Thank you.
It's all right. I love you.
I love you.
Good. Right. Enough of the romance. We don't do soppy stuff here. People want to hear the juice. People want to get stuck into the sexy stuff.
Should we jump right into it?
Let's go 10 toes deep.
Okay, so we're starting off with the top 100 kinks.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We're chipping them off now. 2 done.
We're about to be 4 deep.
Done. 4 deep. We've been 4 deep before.
Okay, so first one, sensory deprivation.
Like the tanks.
No. So your senses to be taken away from you.
Yeah.
So sight, sound.
Okay, got you. Yep.
Movement's not really a sense, but we can throw that in there.
Touch. You don't know when it's coming, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. All right, talk to me about it. Tell me about it.
What is it? So like I said, it's having it all taken away from you. So a way you could do that is be tied up, taking your control. You can't move. You're blindfolded.
Yeah.
Why are you smiling?
Because you know why I'm smiling. Because this was our Friday afternoon a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. Something to cover the ears so you don't know what's coming. So a good thing would be headphones, ear defenders, earplugs. Less sexy. But
excuse me, getting the ear defenders, lubing them up, sticking them in your ear. It's not sexy.
It's not the sex, like a wet willy.
Yeah, just get some decent headphones, over-the-head headphones.
So our experience of it is something that we quite like to do.
Yeah.
It's very much a take away the power again from whoever it is who's having that done to them.
Yeah.
So they don't know what's coming. Anything that they're about to experience is totally out of their control at this point. I mean, when you're in a dom sub kind of situation, a lot of your power is taken away from you anyway, but you have a little bit of freedom with your movement and, stop and start for, anything like that. When your senses are completely taken away from you, it is purely in the hands of the person who's delivering.
Yep.
So if you're into having that kind of situation set up, this is a bit of an extreme one. You're giving all of your pleasure, everything to the person who's delivering.
Yep. And being the person who delivers it, it's almost like, we're like everybody else. We go through stages sometimes where we don't have as much sex or we don't have as much physicality due to work stresses or life, whatever it is, all the bullshit that goes along with being on this spinning rock.
Mm-hmm.
Getting that little bit of power back, coming back to you that Friday. I'm gonna get stuck into it. Mm-hmm. That Friday, coming back, telling you, get on the bed, getting the rope out, tying you up and you didn't know what was coming.
No, I had no idea.
And then blindfolding you and then putting headphones on you. And I was like, she's got nothing. I've taken everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew you'd enjoy it, which is what turns me on so much. But having that like, yeah, no, this is mine. This is my train set now. I get to play with it however I want.
Yeah.
Whatever I want to do, it is. I know you're going to enjoy it because I know you so well, because we communicate really efficiently between us.
Mm-hmm.
But it was fucking fun. I could just be like, where you would normally be like, oh no, it's too much, or shut up.
Yeah.
You're doing what I say now.
You've got no choice in it.
Exactly.
That's what I mean. Like when you are in a situation where you're not quite tied up or you're not controlled, you can still kind of move away from something if you're like, oh, it's too much, or I've had enough now. There was none of that. It's 100% you're doing what I say.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it.
So grip the throat and shut the fuck up moment.
It is.
And oh my days, was it fun? How much fun did we have?
We had a lot of fun, considering I had no idea what was coming. And I also wasn't in the mood that day. Can you remember?
I
But I
remember.
was very much like, oh, I'll go along with it.
Yeah. You were like, oh, I'll flap about a bit, tell him it was really good. Yeah, you're the best. Well done. Pat on the head.
As soon as that tie come off my eyes and them ears come off, I was like, Jesus Christ, where am I?
It's good times. No, I really enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's something that people can play with if they're not sure. So imagine you're in a...
It's not quite an aggressive act. It is quite sensual, but
100.
it still has that.
But it can be whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to be sensual. It can be a bit more aggressive if you want to be a bit rougher with it, but always communicate that. Understand the other person. Don't think it's sexy to just grab your missus and fucking tie her up and blindfold her. That's not sexy.
Mm-hmm.
The building anticipation and understanding where it's going, but having no control, that's the sexy shit.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a dangerous game you're playing.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in that game.
Definitely don't want to be in that game.
So yeah. I think the key for me is like people who maybe haven't experienced any sort of role play, because that's all it is, like the dom sub thing.
Yeah.
That's not really our lives. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm a more in control of certain aspects in our life, but you're more in control of others. You know what I mean? I'm masculine, you're feminine. But when it comes to sex, we have this role. You know, you have names that you call me, I have names that I call you, because it's all a role play.
Yeah.
People who are maybe a bit alien to this and are like, oh, I don't know if I want to do it. I don't know. Is it a bit of me? This is a great way. Because worst case, you just end up having really good sex and working out you don't like something. And yeah, you can check a box and then move on. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's also quite good. It's coming off it a little bit, but it's quite good for, I think we had this discussion before where it was like people who want to be tied up, but don't really get tied up. Everyone will go out and they'll buy, you know, the classic black rope that you get from a sex site or the handcuffs or something. And you kind of get it and you're like, I don't know how to like navigate this. How do we tie me up? What do we tie me to? How do we even incorporate this into like sex? This is a really good starting place. Make sure your partner can't move, essentially.
Yeah. And yeah, learn to tie knots, because there's nothing less sexy as a man who knows how to tie knots. And I was very upset that my knots came loose. Very...
Hey, that's not on you.
No.
That's just on me being an absolute
No, I'm really good at tying knots though.
strength.
I know you're a beast, babe, and I'll back you for that. I tied those knots pretty well, you know. But again, the whole time it's constant communication. You know, for me it was like, you've got no control now. But then I'd whisper in your ear, is it too tight? Are you all good? And you're like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, cool, shut up. You're doing what I say now. You've got no control. That's the whole point of it in my eyes. And to remove, like you say, every sense being removed, you've got no choice.
No, I had no idea where you was going to touch me. It's almost that for people, it's the anticipation of where's it coming from next. And especially when you first get started, you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
You don't know where you're being touched. You don't even know what's about to happen.
Exactly.
And it's like that anticipation build up is quite sexy.
That is, yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? They always say the anticipation is the worst part of things. Like if you're waiting for...
Yeah.
I remember we did a thing, throwing balls at each other. As soon as you put a blindfold on, this is me and the boys, obviously.
I was going to say, I don't remember
not you
this.
and me, no, me and the lads, we like throw balls at each other because we're dumb lads. But then as soon as you blindfold someone and you're like, you ready? Start flinching.
Yeah.
They're like, nah, fuck this. Take the blindfold off and throw as many balls at me as you want. Just, you want to see where it's coming from. The anticipation can be the worst bit of things, but with sex, it can be the best bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's that like, where's this going?
Yeah, take it
What's
slow.
next?
Don't just tie someone up and go straight into it. Tease them a little bit, touch them on their thigh, touch them on the outside of their knee.
I was going to say, and as a man, if you're listening to this as a man, don't think, all right, got free reign.
Yeah.
Sweet, I'm just going to go to town. Again, it'll be done super quick, not fun. Drag it out.
Mm-hmm.
Make it fun. Go downstairs, make a drink.
Yeah.
They don't know what's going on.
Leave her waiting.
Exactly. They're just like, oh, wow, I don't know what the fuck's going on. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
You can do anything, you know? I'm not saying leave people tied up and, you know, do that. But I don't know. Maybe you can.
Maybe it's a thing, yeah.
I don't know. Right. I think we kicked that one to death.
We have. So
next?
The second one is kicking something to death. Impact play.
Okay. Yeah. Happy. Let's go.
You want to take us away on this one? So what is impact play?
Impact play is any form of, you know, impact within sex. Yeah, you've described it in the name. No, it's the introduction of, I guess, pain.
Yeah.
A bit. And again, I think it probably comes from like the dominance, the feeling of like, I can inflict this on you.
Yeah, and it's one of the...
You nail it, my darling.
I think it's one of the most popular legs off of BDSM.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, like you say, it is, so from the Dom's point of view, it is that power of, I have control, as always. And from the submissive or the person receiving point of view, it's, you know, some people might actually genuinely enjoy pain and get sexual pleasure from it. Yep. They might get pleasure from the idea that, you know, they've misbehaved and they're receiving punishment from that. You know, you have a lot of, well, there's like the brat subs, isn't it? They're not necessarily a brat, but by being bratty, they're going to get punished, and they love that. That's an enjoyment there for them.
Yeah.
It's just an aggressive animalistic thing you can do during sex. I think it's something that most people have played with in some way or other.
I think probably like 50 Shades of Grey probably brought that into the mainstream a lot more.
Yeah.
Where women were like, oh, you know what?
Flog me.
Yeah, flog me. Grow up, get a proper riding crop, and let's see who's who. You know? So I don't want to talk too much on this because I feel like this is more of somebody on the receiving end of its point of view.
Okay.
So I feel like that's probably you, because this is something we do a lot.
Sure.
We enjoy this. Mm-hmm. You particularly enjoy this.
So we can kind of talk in the ways that it can be fulfilled.
I was going to say about like what we enjoy about it, because what we do.
Well, that kind of ties into the way it can be fulfilled and how we do.
Just shut up. All right, I'll go downstairs and make a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop.
Come on, my love, you go with it.
So how can we fulfill this?
I mean, it's not a tough one at all. Actually, it's the same word over and over again. It's just communication.
But what's the different things that you could do to fulfill this? So we've obviously got spanking. Yeah,
using we've got a really robust riding crop. Mm-hmm. Flog.
Yeah, you know, so flog is more gentle. It's like actually what we have in our logo. So it's got all the little leather strands coming off it, and you kind of like flog it over someone's body. And again, it brings that sensation of, I don't know where it's hitting me. Yeah. There's so many of them, and it makes you kind of like, oh, it's the anticipation, I think, flogger.
I don't know where you're getting your experience from, because I've never flogged you. So we can talk about that after recording.
No, it's a more common one that you see in movies and things like that.
But yeah, you see people use paddles. You see people can use all sorts, and it depends on the severity and what you want to achieve from it, to what you're going to use. You know what I mean? You're not going to pull out a big 12-inch black dildo and start smacking somebody on the ass with it if they're like, yeah, I just want to be like sensationally tickled. You know, you have to like understand one another.
Yeah.
Because
it's a communication thing. Like there's obviously being spanked or hit on the arse when you're being fucked.
Yep.
Then we have our extremes of, it's not extremes, but we have our way of, there'll be a time where you just want to deliver punishment to me, and I'm cool with that, and you'll tie me up and I'll be naked and again blindfolded, so it comes into the sensation deprivation, and you'll use the riding crop and you'll glide it over me, or you'll hit me in places that most women probably wouldn't want to be hit.
Yeah. So it's
but it's the initial impact, and then it's that after of, like I've taken my punishment.
Yeah. And that's it. And it's what you're talking about there. Obviously, for me, it's that like it's that super sensitive area. Make you spread your legs and keep them that way, even though I know it's painful.
It's impossible, yeah.
Yeah, and then it's
flinch.
like, yeah, it's that whole like, nah, you will do what I say. I am in control now. You know, because, and this, I was going to touch on this actually. This is something that I spoke to somebody the other day. I was talking to them about a podcast, and it's a woman in her 40s, just gotten divorced after 20 years. And so sad. Her confidence has been completely shattered by her ex, completely. And she was saying to me, like, how do I, get round to like doing things with men? And I was like, well, you've got the power.
Yeah.
Women have the power in this. Women can.
They do. Typically, especially if, our kind of setup, people would think you have the power, but ultimately it's not.
In no way do I.
It's me at the end of the day, if I'm okay and if I'm comfortable with it.
Exactly. I'm completely limited by your boundaries. You know what I mean? And some men won't want to do what the women want to do. Some men won't feel comfortable hitting their partner.
Yeah.
Some men won't feel comfortable spanking their partner. And that's absolutely fine. Obviously, I'm going to tell them to grow up because it's class. But at the same time, it's absolutely fine. You've got to understand each other's boundaries. You have to be able to compromise in certain places. Fortunately for us, our desires are both extremely vast and match up perfectly. Pretty much. There's pretty much nothing that I've said to you that I would do that you haven't said, yeah, I'm so down for that, and vice versa.
Yeah.
But I'm completely lost in what
So
I was saying.
you told her that it's women that have the power.
Yeah, women have the power,
ultimately.
and she just didn't believe me. She was like, no, men decide. And I was like, no, they don't. And that was just from the unfortunate relationship she'd been in for so long, where she was made to feel guilty for wanting something that is completely natural. She didn't even want anything particular. It wasn't anything kinky. It was just sex. She just wanted to be wanted physically. Who the fuck doesn't? So yeah, I give her a debrief on where to find kinky people, exactly how to handle it. And, you got to play the role. It's all about playing the role. Got to put on the mask and just go with it.
It's going to be a confidence builder for her, though, for sure. If she's been shattered
it's going to be a slow
much.
burner for sure.
Yeah.
And I was really happy that I got chatting to her, because I felt like I could have like a positive impact on people, not to be too hippie. But that's what we want to do with this.
Yeah.
Obviously, we want to make people laugh a bit. We want to make a conversation, and we want people to be able to pick themselves up and say, no, this is what I want. I deserve what I want, and understand themselves and the people around them a bit more.
Yeah.
We can have just one positive bit from that. It's got to be that. Like, you got feedback, you got a conversation started.
Yeah, got a conversation started between a couple, which is
Watching porn.
No.
Well, they said it took them 40 minutes to find a video that they wanted to watch together.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair. That can be an issue.
Yeah, sometimes again, compromise. Just suck it up.
Just click one and go.
Exactly, just go with it. Who cares? People are fucking. Just enjoy it. Right. What's next?
We're on to the naughty corner. So we've got a couple of submissions for advice here.
Okay. Happy?
Cool. So I'm going to fire the first one at you.
Right.
Because I think that you'll be quite good on this.
Okay.
So.
Put me on a pedestal here. Fuck.
I'm a submissive male and have been with my girlfriend for nearly 9 years now. I'm all into kinks and fetishes and I love getting control over her, but she's not into anything like this. Usual missionary vanilla type sex. Any advice on how I can get her into these kind of things or even start adventuring into it?
Yeah. See, this is a toughie. It's hard because, like we said, it's just not everyone's appetite.
Yeah.
Some people do just like margarita pizza. They do like vanilla ice cream. That is just what they enjoy. I mean, the questions that I would want to fire back to this person are, have you tried communicating? It sounds like they have.
Yeah.
It sounds like they have. And
I think, obviously I'm imagining they would have communicated, but are you communicating in the right way? And that's not to patronize, that's to say, I would ask her, what exactly are the things that I enjoy that you don't enjoy? Okay, great. Why is it you don't enjoy them? Do you just want it really easy, or do you just not want me to be aggressive? Or I think there's such a spectrum of the things that he could be doing as a dominant man
Did he say he was dominant or submissive?
Sorry, I'm a submissive male. Yeah. As a sub.
Yeah.
The conversation needs to be really delved into.
Yeah. And you will find more often than not, less women are willing to be dominant. It's less, I think it's less in a female's nature to be dominant, because women tend to be more nurturing and caring.
Yeah.
You know, that tends to be their role. But again, it's starting the conversation in the right way, exactly like you just said. If you go into her and say, have you ever thought about putting a strap-on and fucking me and spitting in my mouth?
Shouting at me and calling me names.
Exactly.
That's one extreme to another.
They're going to be like, whoa, what the fuck? If you go in and be like, next time we want sex, could you like initiate it? And you like tell me that we're going to have it. That's a nice step in the right direction. She may never have experienced anything like that. So to her, it's alien, therefore it's wrong.
Yeah.
Not true. You know, we've done things like we were talking about last week with feet. I wasn't into feet until you told me you were. And I was like, well, I'll do anything to please you. Now I'm really into your feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes it just takes that little bit. And you should always have, and this is the most probably romance destroying part of sex. I think a debrief after sex. If you've done something new, something different, how often we debrief?
Yeah, we
I
don't.
I debrief. We've had threesomes where I've sat there afterwards and debriefed the third and been like,
yeah,
so
and
how was
like,
that?
I'm so sorry you have to endure him.
Hey, but they give good feedback, and that's the only way you'll learn about people.
Yeah,
and that is it isn't romantic. I'll be honest. I've had some weird looks.
Yeah, imagine from me.
From you, exactly. But that's the way to find out.
Yeah.
And I think just stepping towards it, being open and honest, not going to the extremes all the time. You don't have to say, look, I want to be, did he say extremely submissive? That tells me that he wants to be.
No, he just said I'm a submissive male.
Still wants to be, you know, be dominated.
I think touching on something you just said a moment ago, where she would instigate it, I'm thinking of another situation that, again, it's given her the control. It might things to boost her confidence gently, and they could be having sex, and midway through sex, she could tell him stop and go down on me. Yeah. You don't need too much confidence. You don't feel like you're going to embarrass yourself in that situation. Yep. And in terms of kinks and things to do, it's quite a standard thing, but you're still taking the control in that. Yeah, and you're, as the male, you're having the control taken away from you, and you're like, oh, I'm serving you. Yeah. You know, you're saying stop, go down on me, and you're like, well, I'm serving you now. This is exactly. How he's serving her. She's now taking control. So again, and these are all things that I would suggest to her. Another thing to happen would be when they're having sex, she deprives him of coming. Oh, that's evil. It's evil, but he's so a submissive male. No, it's good for my boy, and I'm backing him. Yeah. But my God, would I explode? Of course. It would be like silly string. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'd just be a canister ready to go off at any point. Anybody's going to get it. That would be awful. The poor dog is at waist height as well. There's a risk to him. But yeah, I think that's a really good. Point. Baby steps. Yeah, 100%. And it'll build her confidence, because then she's like, oh no, I can actually be in control a little bit, and then they can go into experimenting with more things. But I think having really gentle conversations with small baby steps would probably be the best way to go with that. To start that way, yeah. The really upsetting thing is that sex can have such a huge part, and it is a huge part of a relationship. Yeah. If you've been with someone for a long time, but your sexual desires don't match up, that can be really debilitating. So that's where like you need to communicate. You need to understand one another. And like you say, taking those little baby steps in the right direction will hopefully yield some results. And even if it's compromise, even if you don't quite get what you wanted, maybe you'll have to take care of yourself in that way and just fantasize about it. But you will end up compromising. If she's not willing to compromise, then you need to have a bit more of a sterner conversation. Say like, this is something I fucking need this. You know, we all, like I said before, we all want to be physically desired. That's just fact. You know? So we need to make sure that we're being catered for in the way that we need in a relationship. Otherwise, you're not really in a relationship. You know, you're in a one-way relationship. And that's a quick way to build resentment, and a quick way to have people start doing bad shit. That's it, yeah. That's not what anybody wants. And I'm sure, you know, people who do that don't want to do it, but kind of push to a limit sometimes. We don't back cheating.
in any way.
No
we
way.
hate it.
Well, I don't think no one actively backs cheating.
Some people, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
You don't come to my work. You don't see the fucking people I work with.
This is true.
All right? It's not good out there. That's why I'm so willing. That's why I'm so like open about how fucking glorious you are, because I see the disasters that happen outside.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
cool.
that's,
So
yeah.
we
Again,
hope we
give us
answered
feedback.
that one. Yeah. If you have any further questions, just pop us another
Send it in.
message. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can talk back and forth. But like we always say, we are not qualified in this area.
Oh no, absolutely not.
But if it can help, then it can help. And that's great.
We're just really good at fucking. And yeah, that's it. That's why we do this.
Cool. So the next one is a bit more. He's got some. Well, I'll go into it. I'll jump into it.
Okay.
So I have many fucked up kinks, and I don't know how or why. I can just imagine a lot. Sorry, I can.
Are you okay? You all right?
I'm having a stroke.
You look like it.
Okay, I'm gonna pull this up here.
Okay.
I have many fucked up kinks, and I don't know how or why. I can just imagine a lot stranger kinks seen as questionable. So some of his kinks are oviposition. Do you know what that is? So it's where they like women pop out like alien eggs out of their vagina.
Yeah. Okay.
Monster fucking, gunplay, piss play, CNC, others. And I feel pretty ashamed about most of them and the fact that my partner knows. I am really scared of coming off as a pervert, which I think I am, but not in an empowering way.
Right. Okay. Number one.
You're not a pervert.
I was about to say you are a pervert, but it's great. I'm a pervert.
Okay,
You're a
yeah, we'll
pervert,
go that route.
And you don't feel empowered by it purely because you feel shame about it.
Mm.
What's wrong with what you want to do?
I'm imagining the partner obviously isn't as kink inclined, so there might be some shame being put on him there, but that's just speculative.
Yeah, but fuck that. That's bullshit. People will always try and put shame on you for anything.
Mm-hmm.
For anything. If you're poor, people will try and shame you. If you're rich, people will try and shame you. If you're mad perverted in a really positive way that they can identify exactly what they're looking for, exactly what they like. How fucking healthy is that to understand yourself that well?
100%.
You know what I mean? And someone will try and shame you. The last one, somebody's really vanilla. Not that person's trying to shame them, but people will.
Yeah.
People will just try and shame you for everything. Fuck them. You know yourself. You're emotionally mature enough to be able to look at yourself and say, this is what I like.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many people go through life never quite knowing because they're not brave enough to explore themselves properly? Fucking so many. So many. And you know what we call them? Itches. All right? So I think you're perverted, but in a fucking good way, man.
Yeah.
You own what you are and who you are.
I mean, if it helps you in any way, I'd say, 70 to 80% of your kinks that you just listed here, we're into.
Pretty much.
Like take ownership and feel good about that. Be
yeah.
empowered. Like you say, you know what you like. And if there's a lot of porn out there on the internet for it, which there is, you are not alone.
Exactly. That's it. People say that to me. They're like, well, that's a thing apparently. And I'm like, bruv, if it's on porn sites and you can get more than like 3 videos, people are into it.
Yeah.
All right. You're not, everyone's into it. Okay, should we get on with the next segment?
Okay, so
What's
now
next?
moving into slippery when wet.
Yes, I'm fucking excited for this because I've got one. So the way this is normally going to
Wait,
work.
slippery when wet?
Oh,
So
no,
it was
I
a
haven't.
fantasy.
Damn it, I've ruined the surprise.
So this is a fantasy. We've only got one here.
Okay.
So we'll roll into it.
I'm excited to hear your fantasy. Don't worry,
Okay.
it's not that. I'll explain in a minute.
Okay.
Go on then.
I'd like to have a wrestling match in a ring with my partner, dressed in our wrestling attire, extremely skimpy.
Okay.
I'm a dom, so I'd control the match. I'd put my partner into painful but sexy holds such as the camel clutch, suplexes.
Suplex. Did you never watch wrestling as a kid?
No.
Right, we got some talking to do.
And finally a pin that I'd keep putting off so I could just finger and kiss her. As the match progressed, we'd get progressively more undressed until we're naked. The scenario ends with me making love to her in a ring up against the ropes.
Okay. I want you to understand that you can never, ever use the term making love after you've just wrestled somebody to nakedness. All right? You fuck her.
Yeah.
Sorry, you do. Okay, so I'm thinking Bret the Hitman Hart, maybe a bit of Ultimate Warrior. One of them could be the other.
Mm-hmm.
you know, who's going to Stone Cold Stunner who? You know, if we're getting into wrestling, I'm here for it. Okay. He's talking about camel clutching and suplexing. I'm talking about just chucking in a DDT and just looking up for the audience's approval. I'm there for the wrestling match. The sex is class, and I'm there for that as well. I want to see the wrestling match.
See, I think wrestling is quite a... Not that I watch wrestling, but it can be...
I can tell you didn't even know what a suplex was. It's embarrassing. I'm actually upset.
I'm really sorry.
No.
But it can be quite eroticized. Like, it's people in skimpy clothes, close contact, in some wild positions.
Grabbing each other.
Especially if you're sitting watching women's wrestling. It's like soft porn.
Is it?
You not?
I'm just there to see who's going to switch in music someone. Like, you don't know how much you've triggered me by chucking in some wrestling stuff, because fuck yeah, wrestling.
Yeah.
How good is it? Like, I'm all for this guy's fantasy, but also let's talk about wrestling. Should we do a wrestling podcast?
No, never.
Okay, all right. You talk about the fantasy more. I'm just going to think about more wrestlers.
I mean, it's quite a big thing, wrestling within sex, isn't it?
Tell you what, I see a lot of it on porn.
Exactly.
See a lot of it on porn.
There is a lot.
And I'll be honest, it doesn't resonate with me. I understand it. I was
looking, there's a website, and it's been going for like 12 years now. So it's been there a while, where it's just purely women's wrestling. And they even now they've got a vanilla part of the website
right.
where they just upload women's wrestling from like the Olympics and things like that.
Did these women need to consent for this to be on the website?
I was thinking this. I was like, do they now know that they're now on a porn website?
But then, I mean, any of us can watch
over. YouTube. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'll probably get it, you know? I'll be honest. I'm getting papped all the time when I'm going to
this
Tesco.
Is true.
So anything could happen. You know, just slipping my club card out and someone's trying to throw jizz at me. It's hard. It's hard. No, but yeah, I still think there's a consent issue with those videos being uploaded.
Yeah, possibly.
If they're out in the public domain, what are you going to do?
But yeah,
cool. No, that's a sick fantasy.
Cool
that's
fantasy.
Cool.
I like that.
Yeah, that is cool. Right.
Now you can get excited.
No, what are you talking about? The surprises.
All right. So now we're going to move on to Oops, Wrong Hole.
Right, I've got a surprise for you. So the way this works is, the way we've designed this is that Chelsea always reads. So I don't see submissions and stuff before they come in, unless they're sent directly to me by friends. Okay, so I've got one from one of my boys. He didn't want to put it in the group chat, even though the lads in the group chat were keen.
Stop, you're going to like give them away.
I'm in like 12 group chats. No one knows. Okay, so here we go. You ready for this?
Okay, I'm ready.
I know what's coming.
Are you going to be able to read through it?
I'm going to be able to read it. Okay. Around February 2020, my missus asked if her sister could move in with us, as she was just going through a breakup and needed support. Being close to her family, I had no issue with this. Me thinking it would be for a few weeks. Then lockdown hit.
No.
The following happened in April 2020, roughly a month after lockdown. I was in my garden enjoying a nice day whilst working from home during the pandemic. My missus was at work and the sister was in the house. So far, a relaxing day until it was interrupted by a knock at the door, that of which a gentleman was there asking if the sister was there. She came down and I went back outside to carry on with my work and enjoy the weather. Around 15 minutes pass, I start getting a phone call from my missus' sister. She's shouting and crying, "Can you come up here? I've lost something." And this was the end of my relaxing day. I go up to her room and it's a mess. The bed turned over. I asked what the hell has happened. They have lost a 4-inch butt plug. Last seen pulsing around her chocolate starfish.
Oh, no.
Jesus Christ, I didn't realise she was going to let the man in during a pandemic. Bigger issues right now. I didn't know who he was, but sent him on his way after the case of the missing plug. I suggested that we get in the car and go to A&E, as it was nowhere to be found. I had to wait in the car. She had to go in alone. 6 hours later, she comes out. It was indeed stuck up her. After being, what I'd imagine, fisted by the doctors to retrieve the item, two things kept going through my mind. Firstly, 4 inches was clearly too small and should have opted for a larger one or bigger curve. Secondly, I was proud to clap for the NHS after that.
Oh my Lord. Why did she call him?
I I don't know. Come and help me find something up my ass.
I would like pre-warn, so something's happened. I don't want you to freak out, but something's stuck in me. Not, can you help me come find something?
Looking under the bed, what am I looking for? It's in my ass. but how hard did he help her look?
That's mortifying.
Oh my days. Honestly, when he first sent it to me, I was laughing for about an hour straight.
You couldn't stop laughing
I
last night.
couldn't stop laughing. It was crazy. I loved it. Honestly. Just the thought. Been walking in like, what the fuck?
I love that she called him out of all people. I know it was lockdown, but...
And, you know...
in that situation, I'm not calling my brother-in-law.
No!
That's what
I'm calling
mean.
no one. You know what I'm doing? I'm sitting on the toilet with just all the laxatives and I'm just praying.
Yeah,
I'm
this.
praying. I'll take up Satanism. I'll take up Judaism. Anything. Whatever it needs. Whoever the God is that needs to push that thing out of my ass is happening. I'm not belling anybody. It probably is. But yeah, right. So that was my surprise, and I love that story. It's hilarious.
That's brilliant.
Go on then. Your turn.
So this is my one for you.
Okay.
Me and my ex used to do a lot of sexting. One day, whilst working late in an empty office, I was sat at my old boss's desk, and my ex asked me to take a photo of said desk so he could tell me what to play with myself with. He chose the pink highlighter. I proceeded to use said pink highlighter, take a few photos for his pleasure, then popped it back on the desk and carried on about my evening. After going back to my desk, my boss came and sat unexpected and sat down at her desk. After small chit-chat, and as I was about to get up and leave, I watched her pick up the highlighter, use it, then pop it in her mouth mid-thought. Safe to say I left quite quickly holding in the laughter.
That's so out of order.
I think that's brilliant. I think that's fucking brilliant.
How? Surely you would know. Surely you'd be like...
But would you? It's an office.
Which means, what do you think happens in an office? What? It's an office. It always smells of vagina everywhere you go.
If I picked something up and it had a bit of stank, I wouldn't then automatically think, someone's fucked this or someone's used this. I'd just be like, carry on.
How many things do you pick up that smell of vagina on a daily basis, darling? Bearing in mind you work from home.
Well,
yeah.
You know.
No, the fact that it went in her mouth. The fact that it's a woman makes it funnier.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, a woman put it, as in woman put it in her mouth.
Put it in her mouth, yeah. I think that's funnier. I don't know why.
Well, then she might not have like tasted pussy before, so she wouldn't have known.
She must know what she tastes like. Pussy kind of tastes the same.
Yeah, but not all people taste themselves.
That's fucking mental.
I know that blows your mind.
Yeah, but then there's women out there that don't suck dick, so we live in a fucked up world, just full of idiots. I tell you what, the people who don't suck dick are probably the same people who regularly drink Starbucks and judge other people for doing any other position than vanilla. Don't say it. Don't say it, because the amount of people that have messaged me saying that stupid word you said for that stupid fucking coffee place is off the chain. Okay? I had a phone call from France, from my boy in France, asking when he comes back if he wants to grab a Starbucks. I could have thrown my phone across the pet shop. We were in there getting dog food. I could have just launched it and walked out.
Yep.
I was so angry. So angry. And people are going to try and make this a thing now because I've shown weakness.
Yeah, I love how much it's annoying you. I haven't said anything, you're seething.
Yeah, no, it's doing my head in. I'm annoying you. No, you've annoyed me. It's not me. It's you. You're the enemy, yeah. People fucking themselves with highlighters and you're referring to Starbies. Honestly.
It's a thing now. I feel like I can't drop it.
I still love that story. That's some blinders.
That's good.
Is that the only one you got?
Cool. Yeah, I told you I got one, you got one.
Ah.
That's the end of the episode.
Oh man, that's flown by.
Mm-hmm. You want to...
wrap it up? Never. No, right, so, yeah, that's the end of the episode, unfortunately. For all the people who gave us nice messages, thank you so much. The thing we really appreciate is people sharing it. We're obviously very new. So more people that share it, either word of mouth or through social media platforms that we use. It really, really helps us massively. And when we see that, it gives us another boost, and it's just a nice, warm and fuzzy feeling.
Yeah.
Where we want to make a difference to people. We want to do something cool. We want to create a conversation that not many other people are having. And yeah, if you can, are so inclined, give us a rating on whatever podcast platform you're listening to us on. We're available on Spotify, Google, Amazon, all of these things. This should be going onto YouTube as well. So that's just a little review and follow and subscribe on YouTube and Spotify. And yeah, we'll be forever grateful. And yeah, maybe I'll send you a topless picture. Anything could happen. The fans are asking for it.
Every new subscriber.
Yeah, the fans are asking for it.
From Luke.
So what are we on, darling?
So we are on Instagram, TikTok as Ironing Out the Kinks, all one word. Nice.
Yeah.
Our website to do your submissions, which is iotk.fun.
Oh, it's naughty.
I still love that.
I know, but I was so glad when you told me we got that. Buzzing.
And that's us.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next week. We'll see you all then. Stay naughty, keep fucking.
Bye.
Bye.